welcome to Notts County Talk. This is game week 9 predictions. They've got me back on to, I think I was the top percentage at the minute. Well, I was a few weeks ago, so let's keep that going over 50%. Hopefully get a little bit higher. Obviously Jordan last week, hopefully wanted to do a little bit better than him, obviously. So, first game, Cambridge versus Fleetwood. Two teams that are sort of very similar in the table at the minute. Both mid-table teams. Cambridge, obviously coming down last season. Don't really expect them to pull up any trees this year. Fleetwood, again, I see as a mid-table team. I think this one, they might cancel each other out. I'm going to go a bit boring. I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going to go over 1-1 draw for this one. Okay, next game, another half-12 kickoff. This one's Harrogate against Shrewsbury. Two teams that have started off the season struggling. Shrewsbury with 1 win in 8, and I think Harrogate have got 2 wins in that 8. So both teams struggling at the minute. I feel like at Harrogate, they are at home, so you kind of might fancy them a little bit. I do obviously like Belcher in goal. I think he's probably the best goalkeeper in the league. But I don't think you do everything for him. I think Shrewsbury have got a few more goals than Harrogate in them. I'm going a bit off the cuff here. I think Shrewsbury might win this one. So I'm going to go Shrewsbury. I'm going to go low scoring. I'm just going to go Shrewsbury 1-0. First of the 3 o'clock games. This one is Barnet hosting Grimsby. Two teams kind of at opposing ends of the table. Obviously Grimsby knocking out the not so great Manchester United lately. Grimsby did start the season really well, still 5th, so still in a good position, but have lost their last 2 fixtures. Barnet, on the other hand, a lot of people took them through quite well this season. They've not started off the season great. But I do think with Grimsby's sort of faltering form lately, that it's not as routine as you would think. But I am going to go with a Grimsby win. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win with that Kabia, who's got 4 goals already. So I think he'll probably score. So yeah, I'm going to go with a Grimsby win, but not as routine as the first 4. Next 3 o'clock game is Barrow against Crewe. Barrow have not started off the season great at all. Crewe, on the other hand, did win their first 4 games and absolutely dismantled Chesterfield 7-1 a couple of weeks ago. But haven't really been on great form around that result. I do think it will be a Crewe win. I don't think it'll be as comfortable. It's never easy to go. It's never easy against Barrow. They always put up a bit of a test. So I am going to go for Crewe win, but I'm just going to go for a 1-0 Crewe kind of grinding out a win there. Okay, next 3 o'clock kickoff. 2 teams that are doing pretty well. 6th v 7th. It's Bromley versus Chesterfield. A team that I really like in Bromley. I remember when we went there last year. Was it early last year? I just remember the sun was out. And we went 2-0 down really early on. And then we brought it back to win 4-2 in the end. And I remember just walking to the ground. Lovely area. There's like donkeys and whatever on the outside of the ground. It's a really nice grounds, full standing. Yeah, it was class. So good manager in Andy Woodman. I like the way Bromley, I think they're a good team. I think they've done very well last season and doing really well this year. Chesterfield obviously don't really like as much. I would like to say a Bromley win. I think Nick Kabampa is obviously on fire, but I'm gonna go with a draw. I think this will probably be a 1-1. Okay, next game, Cheltenham v Oldham. Another good away day last year, actually, Cheltenham, where that was probably the best game of the season, I would say. It was around Christmas time. Great win. That was when George Abbott was on absolute fire. Yeah, Cheltenham though, not great at all. They've scored 3 goals all season. I think they picked up 1 win. I think they won 2 games ago against an Oldham team that started off all right. But they've won their last 2 1-0. The last 2 fixtures 1-0. I think they've scored 5 in total at the start of the season. So I don't see this being a high scoring one. Could you go for another 1-0 Oldham win? That's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go 1-0 away win for Oldham. Next game, Colchester United versus Bristol Rovers. Colchester, a team that again people thought were going to do quite well this season. Bristol Rovers really started off the season awfully. No winning 4, but now they have massively turned that around and won 4 out of their last 4. Colchester only 1 win all season. Can't see that changing against Bristol Rovers, who really are picking up momentum. They probably shouldn't have gone. Well, they obviously deserved to go down last season, but I think that was a bit of shock. now that they've got momentum, now their foot's on the gas, I'm a little bit worried about them. So I am going to go for quite an easy Bristol Rovers 2-0 away win for that one. MK Dons versus Accrington Stanley. Obviously, MK Dons tipped by everyone to probably win the league and walk it. Some people thought from the signings that they made, it obviously did look like that was going to be the case. But obviously, you know, they had some big players last year, bought Dan Crowley off of us, and they had players. But individuals doesn't always win you games. I think they've only won one in the last 4. They haven't kept a clean sheet. They can't. It seems they did buy a lot of attacking threat, but maybe a little bit of a shaky defence. Accrington Stanley, on the other hand, not pulling up any trees, but also probably won't go down. Although they're not in good form, MK Dons, I do probably think they'll win this one. I'm just going to go with a simple 1-0 win for MK Dons. Callum Patterson probably grab a goal or an assist like he seems to be doing quite a lot. All right, next up, Newport v Gillingham. One of the more obvious predictions of the weekend, you would think. 22nd place Newport, who have only picked up 1 win, against Gillingham, who have not lost a game all season. They're absolutely flying, obviously beat Notts 1-0 last week. You'd think this would be an easy one to call. However, and on FootMob, I've just had a little look on FootMob, and they reckon that Gillingham have lost the last 7 games to Newport. Now, someone might need to fact check that. I looked at last year, and yeah, Newport beat them twice last season. So this has kind of made me think, maybe it's just one of them bogey teams. So you might think I'm a bit silly, but I'm going to go... stuff like that makes me change my mind. So I'm going to go against form. I'm not going to go for a win for Newport, but I'm going to say they're going to hold them off to a 1-1 draw. Just, yeah, because it's their bogey team. And that can't be a coincidence, winning the last 7 against them. But I'm going to go for a draw. All right, there we go. The next one, the big one. It's really not. 2 teams kind of just languishing in mid-table. Notts v Crawley. Obviously, Notts at home at Meadow Lane. Top goal scorer in the league, Matty Dennis. Hopefully, he can win it for us again. Not really a lot of goals coming from anywhere else. Crawley, on the other hand, has won their last 2. I thought we were building up a bit of momentum before the Gillingham game. But, yeah, Crawley winning their last 2. Notts at home, it was so unpredictable. I just really don't know. I really don't know how to call it. I'm going to have to go with it, though. This could ruin my prediction percentage rate, whatever, but I'm going to go with a Notts win. I'm going to go with a Matthew Dennis goal, because why not? 1-0 Notts. I don't really rate Scott Lindsay that much, and I don't rate Crawley that much either, so I'm going to go with a 1-0 Notts. Okay, next one, Salford v Swindon. 2 teams absolutely flying, first v third. Swindon are scoring goals galore. I think they got 14 goals I've seen in the last 5 games. Salford got 9 in their last 5 games as well. So there's probably going to be goals in this one. I think Aaron Drinan for Swindon. Not that Jake Tabor lad, but it's actually Aaron Drinan, who I've never heard of before this season. I'm not going to lie to you. Who's putting the goals? Who's putting the goals away for them? You'd think goals then in this game. I think it'd be a really good game, actually, to be fair. 2 good teams against each other. Ian Holloway, to be fair to him, I wouldn't have called it, but he's absolutely flying with them. Didn't he like go and get demons off of or like some sort of witch off of the training ground or something? I can't remember. He thought it was cursed or something, didn't he? So yeah, I'm gonna put my neck out here. I'm not gonna go for a draw. I think Swindon are gonna carry on going. I'm gonna go with a Swindon 2-0 win. 2-1 Swindon. The final prediction for game week 9. This is Walsall against Tranmere. 2 teams at opposing ends of the table. Walsall kind of doing a little bit different to how I expected. Obviously had a bad end to last season. Well, not a bad end, a whole bad second half of the season. But Matt Sadler, to be fair to him, has got his team organised, got them playing well, and they've had a really good start to this season so far. Tranmere, on the other hand, not doing great. They're basically Amari Patrick FC. Great player. I remember when we had the Tranmere fan on, said just loves turning up and watching Amari Patrick play football. So a great player. So on this prediction, you've basically got to work out whether you think Amari Patrick can topple Walsall by himself. I'm going to say he can't. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Walsall with Patrick getting a consolation goal. So that's it for our game week 9 predictions. Don't forget to put your predictions in the comments and to make a comment if you think that I should have predicted your team to win, then make it known in the comments below. Also, Notts fans, no one got the correct goal scorer, well, the first goal scorer and the result last week. So if you want to be shouted out on next week's video, then put your prediction for the goal scorer and the correct score for the Notts game tomorrow. And also, if you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe.